Good morning and welcome to another ironic introduction to another video. In the background here, I'm just continuing my grind for the 1.1 million I'm trying to get for the Tier 4 basic catalyst. So I will do what I can to make that as non-intrusive as possible, but also I figure it'll give you some background video to watch while I go on this like little conversation slash idea I had while I've been grinding. So I've been thinking a lot about this event, and the way I think is I don't think this event is over. I think that people see the three major events we have with the Call Obsidian, Ebony Maw, and Ronin as the bosses, and I think that the way the event is set up, it's almost primed for a like kind of end of the event release, kind of like a final boss challenge. And you could look at it and say, okay, well, there's the uncollected Thanos and how difficult that is, but especially with the way the rewards are set up, where it's kind of a loot roll and the rewards themselves are, maybe subpar at best when it comes to, bad luck. I'm not really a fan of luck rolls, and I think that when a company does it, it's usually because, well, either they've made a poor decision or they have some kind of guarantee coming up behind it to kind of like, it's like when you eat something really bad and then you like drink a bunch of water to get that taste out of your mouth, and then you eat something that tastes really good, and it's almost like it tastes better because you've kind of like poisoned your tongue along the way. I think it's kind of like that. So what I mean by saying the end game event is kind of like set up for another event, like add on to the event at the end, is I think that if the developers were thinking ahead, Endgame, the movie is obviously going to bring in a large amount of players, and when you have a large amount of players, you want the event that's currently going on to be extremely accessible. And so the way they handled that was with 3-star characters that you can get pretty much every week along rotation. So there's a new character every week for playing. And honestly, they're not that hard to get, and you can repeatedly awaken them just by playing the event. In addition, let's say the event is too hard for you as you're going, there's a progression mechanic with the stones, right? The Time Stone, the Mind Stone, the Infinity Stone. As those 3-star characters that you received become, buffed and powered up so that you can clear the event even further. As a result, you kind of get this progression along the way, and Kabam kind of holds new players' hands, bringing you up to kind of like an intermediate status. And to go along with this, they included the update with the like progression benefits, the packages that you get for playing the game, pretty much. And I think that a lot of this is really geared towards taking new players and progressing them through what is essentially the tutorial of the game, right? The game doesn't really get hard, I would say, until Chapter 4. All the way up until Chapter 4, what makes it difficult is not knowing the champions, not having parry and dexterity unlocked, because honestly you should have those unlocked to start, and you shouldn't have to pay units for them because they're so fundamental to the game. And so I think that there's a lot to be said for this event and how it benefits new players. That being said, let's say with this event, it came out with something like boss rush, right? There was the Deadpool boss rush, which was a challenge, and a lot of people had a lot of fun with that. But new players, right, who are building up a brand new roster, trying to get through the story, play the event, and get their 3-star characters, they're not going to be able to access that content at all. So you have this huge influx of players who are obviously going to try that, whatever major boss rush or awesome questing you put in to the event, they're going to try that and then be incredibly disappointed that they can't complete it because they don't have the pool, they don't have the roster, and they don't have the time played to be good enough at the game to say that they are capable. And so what if you say, okay, well, if I speculated, I'd say Ebony Maw, Call Obsidian, Ronin, Thanos, 4-man boss rush, right? And it's been set up so that you're constantly fighting all 4 just through the event quests. And then the 6-week campaign essentially has you featuring them in the arena. New players have easier access to them and grinding those in the arena, so some of them will even get those characters even though they're new to the game. And then you end it with this like 1 week long boss rush event that say you can only bring the basic Avengers do, right? And the stones that benefit the Avengers do apply to this rush, and then new players have access to it. They have all the 6 characters. They can kind of rotate between them if they need. And then this event is really cool, right? And I'm not saying that is going to happen. You know, I don't really know what's going on with Kabam's mind, but if I looked at it, I would say as a developer that this is a really good time to set up kind of a future plan. And maybe I have too much faith, right? I'm a new player. I don't have any kind of experiences with Kabam. All I can say is I like the game so far. I think that there's a lot going for this game, and if it were me, that's what I would do. So that being said, you know, maybe you agree, maybe you think that 3 weeks from now we're going to see something new and exciting and it'll still be part of this event, or maybe this event will end and honestly, if that's it, I'll be a little disappointed. But you know, with disappointment there comes, you know, understanding that there still was a lot to this event. I mean, from a new player perspective, which there was a large influx of new players, I'm almost positive. I don't have any way of accessing those kinds of statistics, but I'm almost positive that there was a large pool of new players. And from a new player perspective, this event is probably amazing. So it sucks if you're a veteran, but I feel like that's one of those buy-in moments where like veterans don't get the amazing event for a month and then hopefully Kabam makes up for it in later months. We'll see. But that's just my thoughts. It's something I've been thinking about while grinding, and I wonder what you guys think. Maybe you also think that Kabam's got kind of like a secret boss rush up their sleeve. I really think with, you know, 3 new characters coming in the same month, kind of along a like time-gated release order, I really just feel like that screams setup to me, right? But maybe not. Otherwise, you know, I'm going to finish up this grind, and then I'll see you guys for the Proxima Midnight Arena grind, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I'll talk to you later.